you know, you've got no clothes on and there's like 50 people staring at you.
Hello my friends and welcome back to Where Are They Now? In today's video, I'll be giving you the rundown on Doctor Who star Matt Smith. Matt Smith is an English actor who accumulated mass fame in the UK when he was cast as the 11th Doctor by producer Stephen Moffat for BBC's legendary sci-fi adventure series Doctor Who. What's your favorite Matt Smith role? Let me know in the comments. Now let's rewind a bit. Matt Smith, the British actor from the Doctor Who BBC series, was once a talented teenage soccer player who had former dreams of becoming a professional athlete. However, after he suffered from a back injury, Matt moved on to the art of acting by becoming a member of the National Youth Theatre. When he was 26 years old, Matt was granted as the youngest actor to be cast as the lead for the popular sci-fi show that gave him his Hollywood come-up. During the beginning of 2016, Matt took on the role of Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, for the drama series The Crown for 2 consecutive seasons. The suggestion to start in theatre came from Matt's drama teacher, who pushed him to join their school's production of 12 Angry Men. This was the play that was deemed the spark Matt needed to discover his love for acting. This of course led him to becoming an eventual member of London's National Youth Theatre. In his time there, Matt played his first ever stage roles, some of which included his audition to Murder in the Cathedral and Margarita. For his life outside of his studies, Matt began to make appearances in various short films, but besides his work in those, he also starred in the British film Womb, aka Clone, in 2010. Once 2015 came and went, Matt landed his Terminator Genesis role. He had an appearance in the thriller Patient Zero and additionally played an infamous cult leader by the name of Charles Manson in Charlie Says. When we speak of his professional stage roles, the one Matt obtained after his mandatory studies, we see Matt take on stages for Fresh Kills and On the Shore of the Wide World. The latter was later transferred to London's prestigious Royal National Theatre. Aside from those mentioned prior, Matt has also made an appearance in the acclaimed play The History Boys by Alan Bennett, and later proceeded to make his debut in the West End for the Christian Slater starring production of Swimming with Sharks. For Matt's first television role, he played Jim Taylor in the 2006 on-screen adaptation The Ruby in the Smoke and the Shadow in the North books. Following this, Matt snagged his role for his biggest and most popular part to date, and that was the 11th Doctor in Doctor Who, as mentioned earlier. After a high-stakes, 3-week-long casting process, Matt's destined role sparked a big buzz in Britain as the then latest news, when the series curated a near-cult support base. The original broadcasting of the BBC-produced show, starting from 1963 all the way into 1989, ingrained itself into British culture and is even listed in Guinness's World Records book for being the longest-running science fiction television show in the world. It's no wonder how well Matt fit in with the rest of the young, sought-after cast at the time. Apparently, while traveling in England, the US, and other worldwide places where the show had a huge fan base, Matt was often at the center of fan mobbing. When Matt spoke about this with Telegraph London in 2012 for their newspaper, he spoke about how his popularity even became tiresome for him. In 2013, the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who had finally been marked in history, with proof that devoted fans will never truly lose their love for the show. At the time, fans mobbed Matt and his cast members in London and New York City streets, as well as other places like San Diego, California, where the sci-fi-oriented Comic-Con convention was being held. Unfortunately, 2013 was also the year that Matt had finalized his iconic run-in with his former role. Peter Capaldi was the replacement of Matt as the new Doctor for that year's Christmas special. Once Matt had moved on from Doctor Who, he found himself portraying the husband of Queen Elizabeth II in The Crown from 2016 to 2018. For the 3rd season of the drama series, the show saw a fresh recast of new actors to take the places of major roles for indication of a time jump. Because of this, when Matt spoke with IndieWire for an interview, he recalled viewing the recasting in a positive light. Quote, "What's so clever about it is that you get to cover so much. You still have got Thatcher to come, you still have got Clinton, and before there's Nixon. There's some really interesting characters coming our way." Now, let's discuss what steamy series details Matt has recently revealed and how it pertains to what we've learned so far. Matt has seen romantic links to a bunch of top-notch stars over the years. However, his latest reported girlfriend, Caroline Brady, is not in the industry, but she does have a connection to another big Hollywood name. Caroline is said to be the sister of the modeling actress who stars in The Queen's Gambit, Milly Brady, who had previous ties to Harry Styles. Matt and Caroline apparently began seeing each other after Matt's breakup with his former British British actress Lily James. And although they haven't outright confirmed their relationship to the public, many are speculating due to their outed spottings. Before Lily there was Daisy Lowe, and previously Mayanna Mora and Billie Piper. However, Caroline is his reported current lover, who has an extensive but impressive background that makes her super cool on her own, but even cooler for being Matt's partner. Still, as you may know, this isn't actually what Matt opened up about most recently. After making more contemporary appearances in major films including Last Night in Soho, His House, and Morbius, Matt's largest project to date is the Game of Thrones prequel titled House of the Dragon. And the premiere of HBO's newest fantasy drama left many shook, to say the least. Even Matt has admitted that there were far too many scenes which involved graphic intimacy. House of the Dragon premiered on August 22nd on Sky Atlantic in the UK. In it, Matt plays the role of Prince Daemon Targaryen. Its origin, Game of Thrones, was widely known for its explicit adult content that ranged from mass violence to its endlessly visual sexual scenes. That consistency that fans have gotten to see in House of the Dragon seems to be following Game of Thrones to a T. When Matt discussed this with Rolling Stone UK, he explained, "You do find yourself asking, do we need another scene?" And they're like, yeah, we do. I guess you have to ask yourself, what are you doing? Are you representing the books, or are you diluting the books to represent the time? I actually think it's your job to represent the books truthfully and honestly as they were written. Matt was later asked if the show had him featured in any explicit scenes, to which he agreed with, "Yeah, slightly too much if you ask me." I guess fans will have to sit tight to see if what Matt is alluding to will play out on the small screen as he suggested. However, dedicated GOT fans can't be too surprised, I'm guessing, given the past tied to the original. Social media has been filled with avid GOT fans discussing all things regarding the House of the Dragon's prequel premiere, where the show was made to take place 300 years prior to its original GOT series. The specific NSFW scene involving Matt Smith has one fan in particular choking on their taco, while another made sure to state that they were only 25 minutes into the show when the sexually graphic content graced its appearance on its screen. And while reviews on this and Matt's performance have been relatively positive with few negative remarks, Matt has been praised early on for his work in the series. One fan wrote, "Matt Smith really did that scene that way, wow, so powerful of him." Another said, "Everyone applaud Matt Smith for his portrayal of Daemon Targaryen. He plays the rogue prince absolutely perfect." And one final viewer recalled, "One episode in, all I can say is Matt Smith is absolutely smashing it. This show is amazing." Now I'll save the breakdown of the actual scene so you can go see it for yourself, but long story short, Game of Thrones and its new edition House of the Dragon would not be its typical duo series without a whole bunch of racy scenes. And this probably won't be the last time an actor in that position will speak out on how they feel regarding this. Still, fans can remain ecstatic for the HBO drama fantasy series' future, as the network apparently has a slew of spin-off series planned to arrive on the platform. One of these includes a Jon Snow-focused show that will dive into the history and mythology of the creation of Martin. The current prequel, though, obtains a all-star cast of actors and will proceed on Sky Atlantic and available streaming service now as of August 29th.
Well, damn it! Now I'm definitely not gonna get this. I mean, if it was something that was a bit, less big, then maybe I would have had a shot.
House of the Dragon has proven it has steadily become one of the most heavily popularized HBO successors in recent years. Naturally, the stunning work from the cast members rose the general public's interest, and Milly Alcock is one of these prominent stars playing the young Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen and receiving mass praise for her skills. The series has become a runway hit with fans and non-fans alike, but how much do we really know about the sensational Milly? Milly is a popular Australian actress who is best known for her ABC One role in their 2017 drama TV series Janet King. She also played a part in the television shows Pine Gap and A Place to Call Home back in 2018. Furthermore, Milly obtained a feature in the drama series Les Norton. Are you enjoying HBO's House of the Dragon prequel more than its OG series Game of Thrones? Let me know in the comments below. Milly's start of life is rather undetailed due to her desire to keep that part of her life private. However, we do know that Milly was born in 2000 in Australia, making her 22 years old at the time. Growing up, Milly practiced her faith through Christianity and attended a private school based in her hometown Sydney, Australia. According to reports, Milly also picked up acting training and took theater. It was around this time when Milly began to take her craft seriously and began focusing on making a career as a social media influencer, Instagram star, actress, TV personality, and entrepreneur. Since then, Milly has made several commercial appearances and modeled as well. She maintains a photography hobby and is said to have an exceptional eye for the photographic art form. While the information on her parents is also very limited, they have both been revealed to be native Australian entrepreneurs as well. As for her love life, she is reportedly single at the moment. Despite Milly sharing endless photos of her hanging out with her friends, she is again a pretty private person who does not enjoy sharing her life's details with the world. Apparently something like Peter Dinklage from the Game of Thrones origin series. Milly's first official acting appearance came from her Wonderland series feature as Teen Girl 1 in 2014. This was followed by her first resume role as Isabella in the High Life series. Milly has also made additional appearances in A Place to Call Home, Fighting Season, and The School. Most recently, she snagged her biggest part to date through her GOT prequel House of the Dragon. Milly starred on the Disney Channel between the years 2015 and 2017. According to media news outlets, Milly's estimated net worth ranges from $3 million to $8 million. Her prominent role as Princess Rhaenyra in House of the Dragon has most likely sent those numbers skyrocketing, as the high-budget HBO series is widely popular and has for sure paved a great path for Milly to continue to take over the world of Hollywood should she choose to. As for her achievements, Milly was named one of the Casting Guild of Australia's Best Australian Rising Stars in 2018. Milly received a nomination for the AACTA Awards under their Best Comedy Performer category and holds the title of being the youngest ever nominee for the award. Her current location of residence is on the east side of London. It's been described that being in the UK is easier for her filming obligations rather than remaining in Australia. Even though Milly has quite a diligent outlook on life, making it as a big actress surely couldn't have been easy, especially because, like many other breakthrough stars, Milly was working hard in a restaurant prior to the news of her HBO role. She was said to have been incredibly pleased by the fact that she landed such a high-profile role in the series. Milly has also worked as a journalist in her time in Australia. If you are a Game of Thrones enthusiast, help our channel grow by subscribing now. Now, let's discuss a bit more about Milly's involvement in House of Dragon and how it relates to what we currently know. The HBO Max show House of Dragon made its small screen debut on August 21st, 2022, and will continue to run through the rest of the year. There is anticipation that more than one season of the George Martin adaptation will soon follow. House of the Dragon is a Blood and Fire adaptation prequel to George's acclaimed A Song of Ice and Fire inspired origin show Game of Thrones. Unfortunately for Milly enthusiasts around the world though, we won't be seeing Milly in the future of HOTD because she was only brought on board to play the younger version of her character. Her last episode has since been aired on the 18th of September. Emma D'Arcy will be replacing Milly in the later portion of the series' first and currently only season. However, before her departure from the show, Milly was certainly not shy about informing the public of how she felt estranged from her abrupt popularity in line with the show's premiere. While the GOT prequel is by far not Milly's first walk in the park, it is definitely her biggest role to date, and she has quickly adapted the fan-favorite title due to her young Princess Rhaenyra portrayal. Still, she has expressed that her time in the spotlight hasn't been all that enjoyable. While speaking with Nylon magazine, Milly said, "I'm trying to not look at it and trying not to engage with it because it doesn't benefit me. It just makes me incredibly anxious. Me seeing my face constantly is straining. It effing sucks, man. I don't know how the socialites of the world can do that. It's kinda driving me up the wall. An incredibly difficult space to navigate." The actress also shared that she's not friends with a lot of famous people, so it's hard for those around her to relate to her struggles. Quote, "All of my friends are very normal and go to uni and just do very basic things, and my family's not in the arts whatsoever, so it's strange. It feels like someone's opened Pandora's box and you're kinda just looking through the looking glass. It's a bit Alice in Wonderland-y. It's effing weird." During a part of her Insider Roundtable interview, Milly's co-star Matt Smith once gushed about his belief that the young actors of the show will emerge as stars, including Milly's other co-star Emily Carey, who plays the younger Alicent Hightower as Rhaenyra's best friend. But Milly took things a step further when she expressed the irony in fans pitting her and Emily's characters against each other, saying that the two female leads are, quote, "forced to be put at odds with one another by the choices by men. But what I found quite hilarious is that the fan base is also putting the actors, the young Alicent and the young Rhaenyra, at odds with each other, and choosing who's better, also by decision of mostly men." As a fan favorite, it's almost surprising that Milly was once intimidated by the set of HOTD because she surely doesn't seem like it on screen. In her admission to Nylon, Milly said how she felt she would constantly be getting fired during the first few months of the series' filming. She further explained that the process was also incredibly intimidating. Quote, "You quickly adapt and it all becomes quite normal, but the first 2 to 3 months I just thought I was going to get fired constantly. It was incredibly new and exciting and daunting because I've only ever done Australian TV. So the budgets are immensely different, they're not in the same league. It was just quite a shock. That was a way that you can make film and television. I didn't fully understand how big big of a scale something like that could be until I stepped on set and I was mortified. Apparently, Milly discovered the news that she got her part in HOTD when she received a phone call from her agent at a friend's house. Naturally, her life basically changed overnight. According to reports, the Australian native had auditioned for the show via Zoom multiple times. Back then, she was reading lines for a mysterious character by the initials YR. Because Milly was only 10 at the time of the original show's debut, she never watched Game of Thrones. However, Milly knew the opportunity was potentially the biggest of her life at that point. According to the star, she also had to muster up all her acting skills to not immediately give away the secret of her pivotal role when the call came. In quite the series of events, fair warning that spoilers may lie ahead, the character of Rhaenyra finally wed after avoiding matrimony for as long as possible. The tragic event closed out Milly's final episode with the show, and taking Rhaenyra through married life now will be Emma in the following weeks as the 6th episode of the House of the Dragon releases. The significant time jump that takes place between this week's and next week's episode has been revealed in the show's latest teaser. Milly's part in the first section of the show has proven her to be a highlight since it premiered, and she and Emily's characters are the only ones being replaced in the show. Remaining in their places will be Matt as Daemon Targaryen and Paddy Considine as King Viserys. The storyline of House of the Dragon depicts the tale of the Targaryen civil war known as the Dance of the Dragons, which is, according to GOT lore, the birth of the beginning of the end of the Targaryen house. The show's events have been set to fall in line 190 years prior to Daenerys' birth. The 5th episode for the show was Milly's final time in the Game of Thrones prequel, but certainly not the last of her character. As for the 10-year time jump, fans of both Emily and Milly have expressed their excitement for welcoming Emma, but sadness to see their favorite actresses leaving. Quote, "I'm excited for Emma, but I'm going to miss Milly. Still crazy to me that Milly Alcock only gets 5 episodes in this series. She killed this role. Both her and Emily Carey were great in their last episode." However, Milly herself is elated to watch Emma portray her character in a new time, telling the New York Times during her joint interview with Emily that she is so excited to see what Emma did with Rhaenyra. "There's no way I could have played her in the later stages of her life because I don't have the same lived experience that Emma has, so I'm so keen."